guys, Lord here, back again with another review. And today I'll be taking a look at the MEGO Corp Hammer Van Helsing, Mr. Peter Cushing himself. Good old Grand Moff Tarkin. No, he doesn't get choked out like a bitch in these movies, but at the same time, kind of interesting that I have two, count 'em, two Peter Cushings in the collection now. It's also funny is I also have two, oh, I see his face. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Whoever plays Dracula in the Hammer films. Christopher Lee's. There we go. I have two Christopher Lees. I have Dracula and I have Saruman. I almost said Sauron. Either way, not talking about all that. Talking about good old Peter Cushing Van Helsing here. It looks pretty fly, man. He's got the fur collar on his coat. It's almost like a duster. I'd say it'd have to go down to here to be a legit duster. And then he's got his little stabbing weapon here. He's got a stake. Now there is a version with a cross. I don't know if that's going to have different clothes or not, but this is the one I got now. So we're looking at it for the good old Halloween season here. Even though I'm probably late to this review, I don't care. Yeah, this is a cool little figure, man. I'm surprised he doesn't have gray hair, but I guess at this point he probably wouldn't have. I was a lot younger when he did this role. But this stake I am not going to take out of his hand. It is going to stay in there until the end of time, because I don't want to lose it. I will say it would be nice if his sleeves were a little bit more rolled up, so it wasn't kind of getting lost in the cuff of his coat there, but I guess you can roll it up if you really wanted to. Because I haven't taken the URL shot for this review yet, but I was thinking maybe something like this. Again, these guys need ball hinges in the shoulders, man. Do you have those? No, you don't. Got the regular rubber band thing going on. It's just a little bit easier to move you around for some reason. But, yeah, I really dig this figure, man. So articulation on this guy, he's got a swivel in the head. Decent likeness to Peter Cushing there. Not too shabby. His arms move forward and back a little bit. They don't really move in and out unless you do that. Pop them out of the socket. Then he's got a hinge in the elbow as well as in the wrist with swivel. He's got a diaphragm joint, which works okay. He's got a swivel in the hip with a hinge that goes out. Again, it's all connected with that elastic band thing going on. Single joint at the knee, and he's got a hinge in the foot. And because he has shoes, he's got a bit of a rocker. And yes, I did the foot test to make sure I didn't have two right feet, and I don't. Sweet. Yeah, that's really it. Not a whole lot to talk about. My MEGO videos aren't anything all razzle-dazzle, I would say. It's because I'm not the most knowledgeable about some of this stuff, and there's not a whole lot going on with these guys other than the different outfits. It's the same body over and over again for the most part. For the most part, sometimes there's like the chubby body or the female body, but yeah, I like the fur collar though. That's pretty fly. Pretty fly. Actually, one thing I want to point out, because this is something my buddy John Wild pointed out to me a long arse freaking time ago when these figures were first coming out, and actually recently this past year, is that they string these a little weird. They don't string them like they used to, so I think there's like a crisscross in the torso as far as how the rubber band is put in there, and that restricts the arm movement, so you can't move the arms out or up and down really. So if I can ever figure out how to do that, I might try and restring one of these, but it just sounds kind of impossible for me to do because, well, I'm not all that in a bag of chips when it comes to repairing figures. That's more of my dad's shtick. Speaking of shtick, this stick is sharp. My God. Curious what the cross version will look like, and I may actually roll up his sleeves later. We'll see. But yeah, that is Van Helsing in a nutshell. So with that being said, let's take a look. Some comparisons. First up, here's our new-ish MEGO Van Helsing, Hammer Van Helsing, next to the only other Hammer character I have, the Dracula that they did earlier this year. Christopher Lee, of course. And then we have himself. This is another Peter Cushing figure, the only other Peter Cushing figure I have. Of the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Grand Moff Tarkin. And obviously, they ain't gonna be in scale. Looks like his son, actually, which is ironic because he looks a lot older than the Van Helsing figure. Funny how that works. But I figured I'd throw him in there for kicks and giggles, but also for more or less the same reason, if I can find him here. Because we are going to get a Hammer Frankenstein. Here he is next to the Boris Karloff Frankenstein that MEGO did. Around the same time as that Dracula, so. Shout out to my buddy Brian Starner. He nicknamed that one the Pimp Dracula, but there you go. My guess is the Frankenstein will be about this size, but won't have a shirt. Which is funny, because they did do a Hammer-style Frankenstein back when MEGOs were all the rage at the Target. Or at least the first year they kind of broke off from the Target exclusive deal and started selling them on other retailers like BBTS and Entertainment Earth. They did do a Hammer Frankenstein in that second wave of monsters with the glow-in-the-dark Dracula and the flocked werewolf and I think a glow-in-the-dark Nosferatu, if I'm not mistaken. Another funny thing about that is I actually reviewed that a long arse freaking time ago before my first kind of long hiatus on the channel, so there you go. Up next, here he is next to the Hasbro Marvel Legends Ultron from the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure wave and the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dr. Fate as he appeared in Injustice 2 just because somebody asked me politely how MEGO scaled with other lines in a previous video. Kind of just made it a habit to throw this comparison in there nowadays, so there you go. You know, it'd be kind of cool to see Dr. Fate and Van Helsing team up, but he's a little bit tall for that. And way out of scale for Legends, but, you know, again, you could always fudge camera angles and whatnot and make things work if you really wanted to. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legions, Brother Mandibulus, and the MK11 Spawn. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and if you're a fan of all the Hammer characters that MEGO Corp's going to be putting out, then this is a 100% definite must-have for you. That, and you can't go wrong with Peter Cushing, right? Class act guy, pretty cool guy. He was in Star Wars after all, so you got to be pretty cool to make it into Star Wars, especially the first one, which is arguably one of the two best of the franchise. So with that being said, I would highly recommend anyone who's a fan of A, this actor, or B, this character to pick this guy up. Although I will say, the steak's a bit of a letdown, man. I wish he came with like two, or just a longer steak, one that stuck out a little bit more, because I did attempt to roll his sleeves up for this shot, but yeah, it still seems like the steak could have been a little bit longer. Maybe I'll replace it with a toothpick or something and break one of the ends off. You can have a longer steak. I don't know. I know he's not supposed to have like a sword made out of wood or anything, but this is MEGO, man. There's supposed to be some exaggeration, and, well, I see a lot of people losing that in the near to distant future. Is that just me? Maybe it is. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you're so inclined, please hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one, because we got to show that algorithm who's boss, right? And as always, don't forget to hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But please keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, Catch you guys later.